Let me know when you're out there. Hello. Hi. Okay, people are there. Right. This is something I'm going to share with you that came to me this morning in my meditation, which is, if you notice, I've been focusing on karma, the collective karmic debt that humanity is now going through in our dreaming here, the end of this dream cycle, or 26, whatever, the end of times, wherever you want to name it, right? We're going through this thing collectively. And as you see, the collective shadow, the collective trauma, the collective karma is being, brought up everywhere. So everywhere you're around, you see, anyway, there's a lot of people in fear. That's another thing I want to do a meditation on, to break the chain of fear that's holding people down. So this is what we're seeing, right? And people that are having a really bad time in this, say, century, because you're going to be some part through this change. You're living in it. You're either just starting, you're halfway through, or you're just finishing your life. Here, you would have had to dish out your karma, whatever karma you've accumulated in this time, in this end of times, is now coming up. So that's why, if you notice, in the last probably 50 years, as I said, things are not that rosy on the planet, right? Because as a collective, we've accumulated a huge amount of karma, collectively, in our dreaming and our behavior, and you saw it. It's not pleasant. So right out now, if you haven't worked out your karma, a lot of people are going to really not have a good time, or having a horrible time, or whatever. It's because they have to finish off the karma. So what you haven't released and forgiven, you're going to have to face it now. All right, so that's not something anybody wants to do. But what you don't realize is that maybe in this life you haven't got it because you're now the victim, right? Or whatever it is, you're the perpetrator. Let's just say, in the game we've got the good guys and the bad guys. This is what everyone thinks, right? That there's bad people out there. They're playing. Those are the ones now that it's their turn to be, not to be the victim. Whatever side you want to look at it. This is what is happening out, in the dream, right? So what people don't realize is they don't like to forgive. If someone's harmed them, if you've been trauma victimized, whatever, in this lifetime, those are terrible. They are psychopaths. They're narcissists. They're this, they're that, they're that. But what we don't realize is that we've obviously had lives where in the last life, possibly you might have killed them, you might have cheated on them, you might have robbed them, you might have, whatever, been the abusive parent. So whatever situation you find yourself in this life is karma. That means you had to choose those family members or people to be born into that you can serve, work out your karma. So if you had abusive families and dysfunctional parents and this and that, which a huge amount of people had, understand it's your karma. It's coming back to you, unfortunately, because it's something you haven't cleared, worked through, or forgiven, or whatever it is. And this is what I was saying in my last video I was trying to explain to people, I uploaded that to YouTube yesterday or this morning, which was saying this is what's going on, but people don't realize. And this is what humanity was stuck in, right? We're stuck in this cycle, because if you grow up as a child and you're being abused, neglected, whatever else, you're traumatized, your ego is all, it's the ego. I've shared videos and I really recommend you watch this, you'll understand. So your ego's got, oh my gosh, I'm this, and you've adapted. So it's like, it's never ending. It's a cycle. Just have a look at countries at war zones. This is a cycle. Well, you killed my brother. I'm going to, this just goes on. It's the eye for an eye, non-ending nonsense that we've been in. It's just ego. Because you hurt me, I'm going to hurt you. Or my ego or my pride is damaged. It's nonsense. It's not who you are. You're not that. But you're identifying as the human, as the whatever. So this is what's happened. To get to the brief, the summary. So we've got this situation on the planet which is very ugly, and most people on the planet are either in chaos, fear, or traumatized or whatever at the moment with everything going on, and are fearing the worst, especially those that believe we're in the end of the world's going to come to the end, or the planet's going to come to an end, apocalyptic. Those are they haven't worked through their shadows, and that what they see out there is really bad. So that's another thing we're seeing is the collective shadow being projected out there. So the worst, the most scary, the most horrible thing is, oh my gosh, that's going to happen. Oh my gosh, we're all doomed. This is the collective shadow and ego. I mean, absolutely. Anyway, there's a lot of, it's just chaos, right? So if you're in this chaos or somewhere on the ladder, whether you believe an illness is going to get you or, I don't know, whatever, something else is going to harm you, right? Whatever it is. You are sitting or you're having a really not a good time at the moment because you are working through your karma. Okay? Now, what people don't realize is that if you do not forgive those that you don't even realize there's other places that have hurt you. I mean, believe me, in this dream you've had many lives, right? So you know about past life regressions and da-da-da. You've had many lives and they didn't end well. There's a lot of people that have you go through these things, you'll see some really horrendous things. So that means if it happened to you, you probably were you've all played this, you're the perpetrator, whatever else. And you might have done some really shitty things. So you are now having a really horrible life now because, you are paying this back. But what you don't realize is when you come in as a child and the ego again veiled, you are now the victim and they are narcissistic, they're psychopath, I'm the victim, I hate them, I'll never forgive them. So what we're doing is putting that same energy and projection on those people who we victimized in the last life that are just giving us our dose of our own medicine, but they're the bad guys, they're the evil guys, so there we are. And this is what's happened. So this is why humanity is stuck in this very dark, negative karmic cycle. Because, well, this life I suffered and oh my gosh, and I didn't understand it, forgive him, let it go, so I'm going to come back and give it to you. Oh, well, and it's just going around. So all of us got trapped in a way in this terrible, ugly, as people say, this world is terrible. If you in that perspective, this is what you are living through or seeing, all right? Which is not a good thing. So what you need to do is let those go. People will always want forgiveness. I'm the victim, so, I must be whatever else. I'm innocent, whatever else. No, you're not actually necessarily that situation in this level, okay? So what you need to do if you want forgiveness, you want to be released as well, is to release all of those people, especially parents, because people don't realize that parents that were terrible, abused you, neglect, they were born into a very dark, dense consciousness and error. And if you came into that family, they got trauma, so they're paying back and whatever else. All of you are just trapping each other. So the more you give it out and won't forgive, and this one hurts that one, it's just trapping each other. So that soul that's hurt you now is going to be, is going to have that karma. It's like a vicious cycle. And you're going to have that hate and non-forgiveness and whatever. So you have trapped them now. And they've now not released that energy. They're going to come back and stuff with the next life. And, it just never ends, people, really. You've got to see it from that perspective. You understand, if you do not forgive and let go with love, all those that have harmed you, anybody, everybody, and anyone that owes you karmic debt, because a lot of the times you don't realize that there's people that owe you karmic debt, and they're going to be paying it out. And if they pay it out, if they've got to live that karmic debt, right, so they might die now of illness or do something terrible, there's people that love them that are going to be hurt. So this is like, it's like energy, it never stops. So this is a vicious cycle of hurt and trauma, and then their loved ones lose them and they're upset. And this is what's happened. So we've got a collective bad dream going on. This is why the dream came to such it's looking like a bad ending, right, the dream, because it's just collective suffering on the planet. Because we won't release souls. So those that do healing, those that are doing this healing and forgiveness journey, that are starting on forgiveness, spiritual journey, that consciously, or prayer, starting on forgive all those souls, release them, let it free, everybody, right? Do their past applications, do their healing, do their clearing, doing all of this stuff. First of all, you are releasing those souls from their karmic debt and bonds and ties and promises and pledges and curses that you put on people, you don't realize. You're releasing them all. So they are not, you're releasing that soul. That dark, dense energy is being left. That soul is set free. They are not going to carry on doing any more drama or damage or karma, right? You're not going to come back as their mother or their father or their child in the next life and suffer. Because people think, they don't realize. No, you're in this mess because let's put an end to this cycle of pain and suffering and ancestral trauma and rubbish. So this is why they say when you heal yourself, you heal your whole ancestry line. You're setting your parents free. Now I'd like to give you, I was thinking of doing a separate video for you, just to give you a perspective before we go into this, right? That's why I didn't want to talk about it, because I can't really remember. There's a lady that follows me. She's been following me for a while, and I truly can't remember where she's been following me. She's been following me on Facebook, but I can't remember why, where she met me or anyway, how this whole thing started. But she has had a really bad life in this carnation, right? She had a horrible family upbringing, an abusive, neglective father, So she had a very traumatized life and a lot of karma. So boyfriend, husbands, everything was, negative, and basically there's narcissistic looking for the same thing. So this abusive, she was a victim. There we are, okay? And it's just horrible pattern she was stuck in. So it very, very extremely became mental health issues, very frightened, no self-esteem, really, broke her, all right? So somewhere along the line, I can't remember when she started following me. She was following me. And her father, the neglectful, abusive, cold father that, wasn't there, that basically was the root of this ego's trauma in this life, got sick, and she had to look after him. There was nobody else. So she became his carer. That's a predicament you don't really want to, it's a difficult, I know people are in this predicament, that's what I'm saying. Isn't karma interesting? You've got opportunity now to rise above it, to free. You don't realize it. When you free them, you free yourself. So luckily she was following me, and for some reason she didn't get her Kundalini awakening. She hasn't got her, telepathy or psychic or any of those sort of things, but she's on it. She's already getting them. She's getting her guidance, don't worry, very well. And she decided, she listened to it, and she's going to start this. She was guided to start, she just forgive him. And we spoke, I remember talking to her, and I was like, wow. And it took a lot, and she's decided she was going to forgive him. She managed to do that. She started the spiritual journey, and she forgave the man, and she was able to nurse him without, and really be able to see him. That was so amazing. She set herself free, and she was able to see it from a higher perspective. He died recently. So she was able to do that, and she freed herself. Yet he stayed in this dark, dense consciousness and cold and horrible and whatever else, obviously, while he was, still here. In that dark, dense consciousness, he hadn't let go of any of his energy and nonsense and karma. So he was in this very not a good place and wasn't kind and loving, and he didn't get her. It doesn't matter. It's not about him. She let go. So when he died, she was there for him. Unconditional love and no anger, no hurt. She dropped that. Thank goodness. Amazing. I was so happy for her. Wow, I've seen such transformation in her. It's incredible. Lovely. It's incredible to watch. I am so happy for her. It's so amazing just to see. And then she actually contacted me last night. So she could give me an update. So she hasn't been able to get her visions. She doesn't have visions, right? Like us, be able to clairvoyant or see these things. Or she's not on a meditation or doing any of that stuff. But she went to see a friend that gave her, I think it was a Reiki or some sort of session. And for some reason, she was able to. They gave her a vision. So she was shown this. It was incredible what she wrote. I prefer to read it to you, but basically what it was, she found herself in this beautiful place. There's a little girl, and she was in this sort of forest situation, and there was this crown. She put this crown on, and there was her father. There was her father. Not here, obviously, but this whole thing. But in this situation, all there was is profound love. She could feel. So this isn't a soul level now. These are souls. This is now transcending the human body. So she was shown this, and the soul community, that her father was there, and all that was from her father was absolute love. See, because now you're not in the physical body, the truth is there. And she was blown away that she knew and she felt that her father absolutely loved her. But as a human and as this life, he couldn't show it. It wasn't there. It was really the opposite, right? And it was blown away. So she just knew that her father actually loved her. And she had said, there was this peace. She was able to walk away now. She had released him. So as a soul, she had broken that, and she had released her father from this karmic debt and, healed. So they'd basically both been, oh, wow, it was amazing. So I was so chuffed for her. I'm like, wow, she's really coming on. She's really coming on and, you know, getting out of the trauma, and wow, she's really, it's lovely to watch. So there's an example. What people don't realize, when they're not in the physical body, your parents are not these horrible, mean people that you think they are at all. They're actually soul family, and it's a very loving, but they were traumatized and they were victimized or whatever, and this is just what's happening. And you are stuck in this. And we need to stop this on the planet. Because if you let all those people now free that owe you karmic debt, you're going to save many lives, many suffering, and you are going to break this cycle. The more of us do it, the better. You see? So in this morning's meditation, and I've been working on this, it was good. In this morning's meditation, I was given such a lovely sight and gift or meditation to do this. And I was working with, I consciously called in Yeshua and Buddha, because I'm working with them on my path at the moment. And a lot of stuff, because we're all doing purging and clearing. Let me just put my light on, people. Sorry, I see the sun's going down. I need to put the light on, so it's getting a bit dark and you can see something. Let me just put it on. Hang on. Alrighty. Okay, there we are. So, let me get back to this conversation. So what I was trying to say, I'm trying to remember now. Sorry, I was distracted. I'm doing this whole thing that I'm busy with, right? And people, I'm trying to get people to understand what's going on, and that you're not a victim, and that if you're having a horrible time, you are stuck in karma, which you owe people, and they owe you, and it's a tit for tat nonsense on a spiritual level. Okay, let's just say on a soul. This is what's happening. Yeah, this is what's happening on the planet, right? So please try and do that. So this morning I sat in meditation. It was really lovely. And I was shown, because now at the moment, a lot of people are aware you're doing healing and purging, and consciously, if you're not asking, things are coming up, or you're getting upset, or whatever, it's going to be shown to you. Traumas, forgiveness, whatever's, yeah. Yes. So it's not irrelevant to this, your question. So anyway, so this is what basically is happening. So I sat down there, and I had some... like a goodie bag popped up of you, like they show you. In the last couple of days I've been seeing, especially with the big surges coming in, and we're all doing healing, purging and whatever else. So there was a whole lot of things that came up, obviously in this life as 3D, wow, did a lot of things that weren't kosher. A lot of stuff that wasn't very, nice. And you realize it. I mean, whether you dishonest, you realize when I look back how selfish you were, like, wow. Especially if you were a victim, you're very much poor me. So you did a lot of things. Whether you lied, you cheated, you broke someone's heart, you did this, you did whatever, I mean, who knows? I'm not going to speak for everybody. So all these certain things came up today, and I was like, wow. And it almost makes you feel ashamed when you look back at yourself and you think, gee whiz, the level of consciousness you were at was not good. So yeah, you do. You look back and you think, wow, I mean, you wouldn't do that now. You wouldn't dream of doing the things now that you did, but you weren't even aware. Anyway, well... as I say, and as I said to you before, I also had a huge amount of karma, seeing other past lives that I was dealt out in this life. So yeah, wow, it wasn't pleasant. Some I was quite aware. We know nothing happens for a reason. So this morning I just thought, wow, because I've done lots of releasing and forgiveness of people all in this life that have done damage and and other lives and whatever. So this like a little goodie bag popped up of lots of little things. So I was shown lots of things, and I was like, oh my gosh, you almost want to drop into sort of shame and guilt, but better not to do that. So I was like, all right, well, let's just drop the whole lot. All right. Now I'm also doing this focusing on collective people, with their stuff. So that was really nice. So then I was shown this meditation. So a good thing, it'll help people if you want to visualize this, is you sit there and you do that. Is first of all, this is what I was guided to do, is to release all of those that owe you, that have karmic debt to you. And I hadn't thought of doing, I've done, individual, like forgiving people that have done things to me. But what I was shown was to call all those souls in, right? So you now intentionally, you call all souls in that owe you, that have any karmic debt to you. It could be money, it could be anything, any nonsense. It not even be big. call them in, and wow, a whole lot of souls arrived. So now you're seeing all this, right, in your meditation. So all of a sudden, all these souls appeared. It was like, wow, and I was like, oh my gosh, I am so... First of all, I did my apology. I apologized for all the souls. Any soul I intentionally hurt or unintentionally hurt, harmed, So I purposely was to, ask for forgiveness. So I sat my meditation like, I am so sorry. Wow, that I did ever hurt any of you. Ask for forgiveness from all the souls that I've transgressed, hurt, maybe, just selfish, whatever, even if it's small things, For you, it might seem a small thing, maybe not to somebody else. So I called them all in, and you have them all before you, and you apologize, and you thanks, and you say, I hope you can, forgive me for any harm, hurt I ever caused you, did. Great. So I had all these souls around, and you ask them, I hope they can find it, and then you wish them love. So you send this, you're sending energy to them, good energy. You're wishing them love and peace. Okay, you're asking them nicely, and you're saying you're sorry. You're trying to help their energy. So you're sending intentionally love and peace and light to these people. Okay, you're wishing, so you can see them up, and you're helping them, right? So that hurt you're taking away from them. You're releasing them from the hurt you caused them. So you're seeing them rise up now, lightened, because they are now released from that pain and suffering. You've now said sorry and they are happier. Okay. Then what I did, I don't know why this was said, it was shown and came to me, is to release all souls that owe me now karmic debt. Because obviously in this life, in order for me to be the victim, well, they had to do a lot of shit to me, didn't they? And so all these people that have harmed me in this life, I've really forgiven them, trauma, whatever else, and do things to you. You've had to, you've got to forgive them, but you're going to release them. So this is how you're stopping the cycle. So that was, I've never seen that, been guided to do that before. So that was amazing. So I had them all there. Then I was right, I hereby now cancel, recall, release, break all karma. So you're forgiving and letting go everybody that's ever hurt you. And you are breaking that. You're releasing and revoking, cutting that contract, those ties. I remember running through them. So you're doing this in a guided meditation. You're seeing it. But any promises, contracts, karmic debt that you owe me, I hereby release you and revoke it. You're canceling it. So you are setting them free. And that's intentionally. So I intentionally actually broke those contracts. I released and revoked them. I released them from any karmic debt. Contracts, agreements, pledges, curses, whatever. Completely. And I set them free with absolute light and love. And wish them well, that the light of the universe follow them. They always have, the light will always be with them, and the love and light will always surround them. And it was the most amazing thing to witness and to see and to experience. Wow, it was lovely. But first of all, I started off asking for forgiveness for shit I didn't even, think about. So that has you in tears. But you've got to mean it, people, hey? I was really like, wow, I was upset. I felt really bad about it. Like, wow, I'm so sorry, wow. Sorry about that. You got to really mean it. You got to really mean and ask, release yourself from that, energy. And then that. But please do that. Revoke those contracts, promises, pledges, karmic debt. Release, revoke it. Cancel it. So you are setting them free. Okay. Make a massive difference. Wow. And what a difference it made to them, And who knows who the half these. There was plenty of them. So it's not going to continue. So when they reincarnate or whatever, the next dream, it's not they're going to have to still work it out now. Especially those that harm me in this life. And I know how much suffering they've been through before you do it. It's just what I'm saying. This is just a terrible hamster wheel that we are stuck on. And if you think the world is looking bad now, and if you're frightened, well, there we are. You see, this is how ugly the dream got. It's got to come out. We need to end it. And we're not going to end it by blame, by hate, by, oh, they're evil, he's this and that. Deal with your shadow, your fears. You need to do that because you wouldn't be frightened. You understand you aren't. It doesn't matter what anyone does to you. This is not your physical body. It's an illusion. This is not you. So whatever happens to this, if you let go of that, you won't be frightened in the first place. It's Stop hanging on the body, oh my gosh. That's all. It doesn't matter if you lose your body. How you lose your body is irrelevant. It will not affect you as a soul. You come back. See, you will not come back into a negative dream or circumstances or karma, or be the perpetrator or the victim in the next dream, and you will be having another one for now. Okay, people don't realize this. Oh, no, it doesn't matter. They think they can just, forget about it and I'll die. I don't have to worry until the next life. Well, wakey, you are going to be. See, and the way things are going in the end of times, you do not want to come back into karma that you owe people because you put hate and non-forgiveness on them or yourself, or, you didn't release your parents and da-da-da. See, they're going to be your children. You don't want... People think they can just escape by dying. Oh, no, well, I'm dying. I don't have to worry about that. No. If you want to stay asleep, you're going to come back and have a really bad next one. You see. And if you don't want to see the world and suffering and you don't want to see any more death, you think about that. You're now releasing all those people from karmic debt. They're not going to do harm. And you could be saving lives. They're not going to die. And then their children aren't going to grieve, or their one, and they're not going to kill someone by accident or car accident because they have to pay that, that's that person's karma. Someone's got to dish out the karma, you see. This is what people don't realize. Yeah. No, that's why I'm explaining it through you. So you sit down with an intention, okay, if you want to do this. Even a prayer, because some people aren't visual. So you don't have to be visual to see it. You don't have to be visual to see it. You have to sit down with an pure intention to do this. As I'm explaining it, so you understand the significance of it and the value of it and the true meaning of doing this. People don't realize it's about your soul. And you know how much and how grateful those other beings and souls are, even the ones that aren't alive, your grandparents, for when you release them of this debt. Because these are all your soul family. You keep coming back, and I'm your mother, I'm your child, I'm your husband in the next life. You all keep doing this horrible cycle. You are stopping the cycle. You're releasing all of you. Amazing people. So you can do it in prayer or meditation. So you sit down, first of all, pure intent. If you're meditating, you know how to do it. So you do your breathing, you breathe, relax, put on music, however you do it, however you want to do it. And if you're not doing transcendental meditation, you don't need to yet then. If you haven't got there. I wasn't when I started mine. I just wanted to bloody end this nonsense. And I wasn't seeing anything, at the time. You're getting the knowing, or like she was in visions. It's more like visions, but not here. So you sit down, pure intent. You can call on God, call on Jesus, call on whoever you want. The angels, this and that, and that, and that, and that. Whoever you're asking, right, to help, come in, please, whatever, however. I don't know where you are. But you've got to start somewhere. So if you're asking, you don't know. So you've got to be on the beginning journey. So that's your intent, to ask for the help. First of all, you need to know who would guide it. Now you've got to purposely, okay, willingly mean it, that you are now wanting to cancel and recall, rescind, cut all contracts, bonds, ties, pledges, agreements, curses that someone might, you've put on anybody. You could have put a curse on someone a long time ago in another life. Hope you, whatever you're going to suffer and whatever, who knows. Whatever you've put out there comes back to you. So you want to break all those and cut them, and you're calling them back, and you will release all and any being and soul that owes, that has karmic debt to you. You are releasing them. You're setting them free from any karma they owe you. And you're forgiving them for any harm, hurt, whatever they did intentionally or unintentionally. It's like anything. You're talking to someone, forgiveness. It's just forgiveness. There's no fancy way of doing it. There's no fancy way. You are forgiving them completely. As though you were going to forgive a partner or a loved one. You are forgiving them completely. Fair. Because people always think, oh no, well if I'm the victim now, oh that's all good. No. No, it doesn't work that easy. Yeah. You've got to consciously do it, see it, call them. So you can do it like you daydream, right? You can see, but you'll see like a soul, like a white light, a ball, That's their soul. If they're not alive, they don't have to be alive to do this. You call them. You see them standing. Say you're daydreaming. Close your eyes and you visualize. You are standing here. There's the one, say a person that you are forgiving. And you are asking them, please forgive me for any harm, because you might have done harm in the first, that I have caused, hurt you, any intentional, unintentional, please, I ask, I hope you can forgive me, and I'm setting you free, okay, and I ask for your forgiveness, and I'm setting you free, and I'm forgiving you, you're forgiven for any harm you think you might have caused or did cause me. I completely forgive you, and I release you from any karma, contract, bond, agreement, curse, this and that. Visualize it. Okay, you're cutting all those ties. Do that with your heart. See it, mean it. Take a knife if you want to visualize that. Cut. You'll see like a ribbon between the two of you. You're setting, cut it. And then visualize that soul floating off, because now you've released them. You see? So then you can visualize, you've now cut that. You've completely released them, you wish them off, right? So I set you free with love, peace, light. I wish you love, I wish you peace, I wish you life. You set them free. Cut that thing and you'll see that soul. You're setting them free, you'll see them. When you know it's done, you will see that soul actually float off light. So if you haven't done something properly or whatever, you'll see that soul won't go. It's like, okay, they're not going to, it's not, why is it not going? Why is it not going? Because you haven't done something. Okay, you're first of all either not meaning it, you haven't really let them go, you haven't said it or whatever. Well, then there's unfinished something there. So if you do this, you are releasing them from any unfinished business as well. Okay, that you owe them or they might owe you. It might be karma coming down. People don't think, oh, I'm all good. You don't know what karma is coming down to you. So if you get your nonsense out the way, hope you're cancelling all this. More karma is coming to you in this life. So maybe a car won't hit you next week when you go shopping. Do you understand? And this is what people don't, this is people, they always think, oh, well, whatever. Here we are. And so this is a good thing to do, but you really must mean it. And you will be so relieved because you'll see those souls absolutely float away. But wish them, set them free completely. And wish them love and light and peace. So I'm freeing you from any soul contract, tie, bond. You want to end it now. Because whatever cycle you're stuck in with these people, exes, it'll be people close to you. They come into your life for a reason. They owe you or you owe them when they're teaching you. So you want to cut this nonsense so it doesn't keep happening. You see? Whatever cycle you're stuck in. Oh my gosh. So there we are. You set them completely free. You're cutting all contracts, promises, bonds, ties. Cut that thing, wish, I set you free with love, I wish you love, peace, light, always. There we are. So I do that initially, and then this one was a general, I don't know why, maybe because I was on this topic of karma. So this was shown to me. No, it's got nothing to do with it. It's a lesson, something they want to experience. See, something they want to experience. This is it. There's many different versions of life. That's what I say to people. There we are. Okay. And then don't focus on the negative and don't judge. So now when you do that, don't make any more karma for yourself. Oh, he's an idiot. Oh, that's this, and I hate him, and da 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 da. And same with focusing on the negative things and oh my gosh, believing because if you believe and if you want to be a victim, it comes to you. Okay, until you learn, well, I'm not. So if you want to do it, the universe is going to keep sending you perpetuators. So you believe you're a victim until you get tired of being a victim. Maybe you'll not do that. So all of these things people don't realize happen for a reason. There we are. Isn't that interesting? Interesting, yeah. And that's what I'm saying. It's lessons or games we want to play, whatever. But those that don't want to suffer, understand, we must have done something in the first place to dish up, to have, nasty things in our life. We built up and we're stuck in these horrible things. Welcome. You're welcome. So try that. All right. And it's such an amazing release. But please cut here. Let's set everybody free that owes you any karmic debt. All right. You're going to save a lot of suffering and more suffering on the planet of yourself and any other people. Because then they'll make karma and well, who knows? Horrible things. Thank you. So I was going to do a live, I can't remember. I've got some of her messages and her thing she sent me last night, and it almost had me in tears. I was so happy for her. She was so grateful. And it was such an amazing release, because when her father died, she saw the soul, she knew, and she let him go, and she was okay. She didn't get any, obviously, because he wasn't awake, and any, forgiveness or any sorry, there was none. So on a human level, 3D, she didn't get, it's just your ego. She didn't get, I'm sorry, I treated you badly, I do love you, nothing. He just died, and with the same bitter, angry kind of thing. But being able to see that she had released him from this karma and nonsense after he died, when she was shown this, it was such an incredible relief when she realized as a soul, the real father, the real soul, not this pretended to be her dad in human flesh, loved her terribly. Absolutely loved her. And she had now released him. They were both set free. It was like, wow. I was like, oh, I'm so happy for her. Wow. It was so moving. And she was so, it's lovely to see how grateful she is and how she's coming out of terrible trauma and mental health and all kinds of things. How she's flourishing. It's so amazing. I am so, I love it to watch this. It's just like, wow. I'm just happy for her. Wow. Okay. Yeah, there we are. But it's lessons we learn, at the moment until when all of us humans are raised up enough to a decent level, we will see heaven on earth, what they call, the new epoch, the heaven on earth, we're all waiting for this peace. But enough humans need to raise in consciousness. See, at the moment, I want to do a meditation. I've actually got to help someone who's got some problems at the moment, so I was get some healers together and do some work there. But besides that, for the collective people, what I'd love to do is get enough light workers together and do a live on here to at least to cut this, to get the humans out of fear. There's a huge amount of people stuck in fear. So now if you see it on an esoteric level or on a, not with the human eye, right? What you will see is like, say, all of you, you're all souls, not in a body. So you see this, you're beings of light. So you see all these souls, whether you want to call them humans, these light in light form, and this very, very dark, horrible darkness here. Like I said, rise above the darkness. I've shared a video on YouTube already, but I did that a month last year because this was going to come. So what you see was that, and what you see is it's like they're stuck in the darkness. They're stuck in fear. Now, what the fear, what they don't realize is an illusion, because you are source. You've got nothing to fear. You are all powerful for one. But you're fear, because you fear this, you're identifying with the ego and the body, and you're frightened of something harming this body and anything happening to you and whatever. And it's because you've bought into the projected fear and illusion and psychopathy and dark shadow. The story that's going around now, if you're terrified, is humans, is the collective shadow. The collective karma shadow. Oh my gosh, we're all going to be exterminated. Right. First of all, that's not correct in the first place anyway. Because if you've chosen to be a victim and buying that something can harm you, whatever, you're going to be, I'm afraid. This is the thing. So all these people are stuck in fear. And it's first of all, cutting them off from their connection and all other kinds of problems and bringing their frequency down, vibration, which makes them vulnerable in the first place. All right? If you've got to get above this stuff. So they haven't done enough work. They haven't, whatever it is. All you see is all these poor humans stuck. And what it looks like is that something, so they're trying to rise out of the darkness, right? Out of the dark, dense consciousness, let's say, energy. It's just energy. So you see all this black stuff. These poor souls, all these human beings that haven't broken free yet. All right. They haven't arisen enough yet in their consciousness to break free. So what do you see? It looks like this black thing, this black, let's say, entity, has got them by the ankle and is keeping them from coming up, pulling them down. Now that is their shadow, that is their darkness, their fear, their karma, their whatever nonsense, right? Manifestations, illusions, ego. Really, it's actually the ego. That's got them there. You are the body. Oh my gosh, we're going to die, or someone's going to hurt us. We're going to be, we're this little thing that we must be run away and be frightened, and we have no power. Meanwhile, you've got all the power, absolute power over everything. Whatever, but you just don't believe it and you don't know. So yeah, I'd love to do a guided group meditation, a big meditation on here with a lot of people to break this. Okay, so they are stuck, they're held almost like this by their own fear, though. That's all it is. But anyway, their own shadow, darkness, having done enough of this. So is to be able to release them, to try and release a lot of these people, release them from fear. That will help an immense amount, because if we can break this thing from getting them to rise up into the light, once they rise up enough into the light, first of all, your frequency and vibration, everything's higher, and you won't be, you escape all this, what you think is this, what's going to play out, this nasty karmic, play that's going to unfold around you. And if you haven't risen and then you realize also you've got control over your own biology. First of all, nothing can harm your biology if you don't intend it in your consciousness, and so you are perfectly safe, doesn't matter what. And even if something does happen to this, you are not this. You are free of this. Nothing will happen to your soul. So whatever happens to this body, you should know you've had enough past lives, right? You've had, your body's been cut in half, blown up, this, that, stoned, it's whatever. Yeah. It only affects your consciousness, your belief if you're attached to this. Oh my gosh, that's it. Let go of it. Don't stress, worry, fear about anything happening to this body. And if it does, it doesn't matter. Then. But if you are in control of this, and you've got your frequency and vibration, nothing will actually override that. You have control of your biology, and whatever comes into your body will not affect it. It's the same with people that are frightened, of ETs and aliens when they wake up, and this demonic realm thing, right? Like psychic attacks. Oh my gosh, I've got to protect myself. Someone can psychically attack me, and this and that. No, nothing can actually. You just haven't realized who you are yet. So you've got these energies, and it's test. You got to work through your own little, pantomime there. Yes. Oh yeah, absolutely. We've all been through that nonsense. Let go of all of it, and let go of those people that owe you any karmic debt. Forgive all of them. You see, things like that. Those are smaller things. That's what I did today. So there's lots of little events that happened, right? So I let those people go. I severed all karmic debt anybody owed me. So the bully, this one, that one, all those other little things. And hopefully I'm tied to other people, because I did shit as well. You see, don't think you're innocent, because if you've been a victim, you've been very selfish, and because I'm a victim, oh my gosh, whatever. And you wouldn't be a victim if you hadn't have done something wrong in the past life, you know what I mean? Anyway, never mind. It's just, we're learning as well. It's just things we experience. We just got to stop attaching to the, oh my gosh, the hurt, the pain, the physical, this illusion. I'm hurt, I'm this, I'm, whatever, any of this thing. But that takes time. Yeah, it's letting go of all attachment. Attachment to this life. Like I'm in control of all of this. The body, what's going to happen to me, Yeah. It's a long journey. So there we are. I would love to do a meditation to get people to break this fear, this trap. They're stuck in fear. We need to release people from fear. That's probably the most important, I think, at the moment, energy. And because of that collective fear is being spread, and if you're on that frequency and vibration, you're tapping into it. So if you're down here, that timeline and frequency, on that same frequency, you're going to feel it and be drowned in this fear narrative. Okay, whatever timeline. So if you bought into this timeline, the end of the world, depopulation timeline, you're going to be in a very dark, dense energy. And that you're going to be picking up that frequency and vibration and that dream. If you haven't, disidentified all this nonsense, it doesn't matter anyway. And if you're worried what's going to happen to your body, and believe that something can, has control over your biology, you have control over everything. Okay. Thank you. Okay. It's a sweatshirt. I went walking. Yes, that's how it works. You guide yourself. You source. Although we all one, right? We all source. But we all have different consciousness, different energies, different illusions. Our dream, we're all inside the same dream, the same dreamer, but we're having different versions of it and whatever. It's complicated. But I do share on my YouTube page. I share it depends where you are on the journey, because some of you will be here, there, whatever. I share videos and other channels and useful things. Okay. So I do share, if you follow or subscribe to my YouTube, the community page, if you follow it, you'll see like other posts. I share other videos or past life regressions, stuff that's relevant, that helps people. It'll help someone, wherever they are. So, yeah. If you go to my TikTok page, you'll see I shared a link, because otherwise, it doesn't give you much description. So you can't write, I try to do that. My YouTube is this, my Facebook, and people kept asking me. I even made videos to tell them what my YouTube and Facebook was. So what I did now is, like, everyone's got this link tree thing. I got a link tree. So it's one link you click on, and you click on that, it'll give you my link to my YouTube, link to my Facebook, link to TikTok, everything's there. Okay. So go to my TikTok page. Just under the profile picture thing, there's a link there, link tree. Click on that. I'll take you there. There we are. And then the link will open up my, YouTube page. There's useful stuff there, but there's different people, depends on where they are, you see, in their dream, and this is the thing. It's one dream, we're all dreaming it. And once we all get coherent, and we've risen above all this, and we're all on the same thing, we will manifest the new earth. We will manifest this beautiful planet, peace, love. I mean, this wonderful, we'll be living in this paradise. Happiness, freedom, peace. It looks like it's going to take a while. Because it's very difficult when someone's been really traumatized, especially from a child. Wow, had really abusive things. It's very difficult for them to because remember, you are already you're bought in, your ego's bruised. The ego, that's the ego. It's not you. This is a nonsense identity. It's an illusion, of I am this, and I'm a doctor, and I'm, all this. That's ego and all this rubbish. This is a character you're playing. Now that character believes itself. So, oh my gosh, I am, I'm hurt. I'm in, that's it, because it is as a child. So as a child, it's so difficult. So you are in a dark, dense consciousness and energy, because you didn't let go. Especially if you didn't let the trauma out, you didn't cry it out, you didn't process it. It was too much or too much of a shock. It's in there. This is a problem. This is what's happened to the planet. So everyone's stuck there, especially right now. Oh, they're either expecting the worst. It's their sheer shadows. Oh my gosh, I'm going to be annihilated, and or whatever. Something horrible. They're projecting, we've got all this. It's a horrible dream out there. Projection of shadows and fear and all kinds of, karmic nonsense. And it's messy out there. Yes, we'll have a look at what's behind that, because you have ultimate power. Nothing has power over you. Okay, so there's energies you haven't worked through or cleared, or beliefs or whatever. Because it's an illusion, you're testing yourself at your ego, trying to distract you and playing up, and oh my gosh, no, look, you'll get through it, you'll work through it. And if you need to at the moment, you've got to keep saying nothing, first of all, nothing, and no one has power over me. Keep saying it until you feel it, believe it, also the mind. So you start training their brain, positive things, affirmations, nothing, no one has power over me, nothing and no one has power over me. Get that drummed into you. And in the meantime, if you want to, you can use, put in spheres and whatever protection you want around you, whatever you feel guided to do, call in angels, whatever makes you, your ego is going to play with you. You got to work your way out of it. You know what I mean? It's not the easiest to work your way out of it. It's not. It's very difficult. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You can do it, my dear. Your soul, that's your ego again. That's because you're identifying with you as Jen. Oh my gosh, this happened to me. Because you don't see the higher reason why. You can ask for why. Get shown, you need to start the forgiveness of whatever happened to you, ever harmed you, and ask to be shown why. Okay. And then you'll be blown away. Why? Whatever happened to you happened, and you'll be like, oh my gosh. And you'll realize, oh, wow, okay, wow. Ask for that. But if it doesn't come from pure intent and heart, if you don't, you won't see it. Yeah, that's my YouTube channel, Multidimensional World 2020 and Beyond, yes. I only opened it for TikTok. It's so I can upload the TikTok lives for people that miss them. That's the only reason why there's a YouTube there. Because I'd make a live and then a lot of people don't get to see them. So yeah. It's a guidance. If it's something keeps appearing as a reason, they're trying to get your attention. Okay. Synchronicities is called. Synchronicity, that's what it is. Some people are going to be a leaf or a flower or an angel or a feather and a number or, whatever. It depends on your consciousness and your, that's why I say, we all source, and we're having a collective dream, planetary, but individual as well. So inside that, you're playing this. Yeah. We got to change the dream. We got to make it now nice. But it needs the collective to play along as well. Manifest something decent, not horrible and nasty and evil and all kinds of other nonsense. And that's just all our shadows and darkness and karma. The collective karma is being served up. That's what I'm saying. The more of us do this, the less suffering is going to be on the planet. See, and if you are witnessing people suffering, there's a reason for it. Now, if you are doing this consciously on your journey, you can actually then change that karma or drop it. That's what I'm trying to tell people. Or you can end up having another nice experience on this planet. And people at the moment, I'm sure a lot of you don't want to go down those very frightening roads, that especially if you're believing this horrible thing is going to happen to you. You want to escape anything bad happening to you, especially if you believe this is you and you're frightened of dying in the body. You sure as hell are going to be scared. So you want to escape that karma. Okay. You don't want it. You need to, Yeah. So you got to start that. Spiritual work, merely intention, raising your frequency vibration, asking for forgiveness, forgive everybody and everything. And set your path to start with. It depends on you. I don't know how far you are on your consciousness level. You got to raise your frequency, a lot of things, well. But if you ask for that help and intent, it comes, okay? There we are. Got to start. All right, lovely people. I hope that helped anybody, somebody, even one person. It's like this one or two of them. It's so nice when people write you and say, thank you so much. It's not you that you realize, it's your source, everyone's source. So really it's their soul guided them. It's like I get guided to videos. I get guided to Cryon for confirmation and this one and other people. Wherever I'm on my journey, my soul brings up YouTube videos. Oh, look there. And I was like, oh, that looks interesting. Let me have a look. And I get, wow. So I needed to hear that. That's how your soul guides you, right? So depending on you might need something. So your soul's going to guide you to my video because you need to, where you are, you need to hear something or learn whatever. And then when you're finished here, your soul's going to guide you to another level as you go up in your levels, right? So your guidance, your source are going to guide you, teaching yourself. You're going to find another teacher, another video, another whatever. Whatever you need at that time, if you're earnestly seeking this, your soul's going to guide you to it. Okay. I'm good, thank you. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, I was good. It says me who's crying almost every day. I felt so bad this morning when I did this meditation. I thought, oh my gosh, did I do that? Oh, wow, that was horrible. When you look back and you think, as a soul, the things you've done, because you were stuck in this karmic cycle and you think, oh my gosh, how, wow. It's not, I'm not moaning, I'm doing it every day. The last 2 days, the 3 days I've had tears. But it's lovely because it's part of this healing and releasing. And so, it's for a reason. Okay, well, you haven't. There's things that you still need. You might be here in consciousness that you have to work through or let go or who knows, whatever. In your You can change your dream, that's what I'm saying. Once you wake up to a certain level that you're conscious, you now, let's make a new dream. You want to make sure you projecting and creating something very nice out there. Not that's going to lead you down a very bad path. You want to get rid of your karma and stuff. So you've paid it up and there's no nastiness waiting for you, you see. So that's the aim I'm sure everybody wants, because most people, especially when they're identifying with being who you are and the body and everything else, you're terrified of your body dying and horrible death and pain and all this nonsense, you know. Whatever. Yeah. That's interesting that you did that. Well, that's what they thought I had, actually. They thought I had MS, but it was actually medication. I went for 2 MRIs, and it was they thought I had MS, but it was actually a serious adverse reaction to medication, which is anyway. Hi there. How are you? Yeah, we do this. There's a reason for it. If you go to healing, you can find out why you have it. You've manifested it. It could be something buried in there. You'll find out why you've got it. And we also choose. We've all left this planet in many different ways. I'm good, yeah. We've all left this planet in many, many different ways, you know, and we've had some really unpleasant deaths, if you want to talk from a human perspective and pain. But your soul actually leaves the body. When it's really bad, your soul, because it's never in it. Your soul's observing this whole thing here. The body is just, you know, but yeah, so it's not it, you know. It's the dreaming, this whole thing. So yeah, it's hello. Hi. Yeah. Doesn't matter what it is. That's what I'm saying. It's a fear. You've got to overcome that. And you are given a chance to overcome. So that's the point. You see, this is why when you're the victim in this life, the whole point is you were the nasty person previously, so they paying you back for whatever you did. Now you've got a chance to break that karmic cycle. You've got a chance to forgive and set them free. So you will not be suffering down the line, and nor will anybody else, you see. So understand that, yeah. Stop saying, you can let go of the story. If you keep saying, I'm a victim, this happened to me, if you keep talking about it and sharing it, and because that's identifying, oh, I'm the victim, oh, this happened to me, oh, did you know when I mean, oh, did you hear my story, oh, all you're doing is repeating it and staying in this. You are, and that's it. You can decide, actually, no, it's not me. That happened, it's gone. You see? I mean, this is the ego, wow, and the body, you know. I don't know where you are if you're starting on the spiritual journey. A good one to start is the Conversations with God. I think it's Neil Donald Welsh. Neil Donald, what's his name? You can find audiobooks. They're actually books. They're written books and they're audiobooks. It's called A Conversation with God. I think it's book 1, book 2, book 3. I think it's Neil Donald Welsh. Very good place to start if you're starting on if you were not a believer, put it that way, right? Or any spiritual thing. They were really lovely. So you can go watch Conversations with God. That's a beginner's. Or you can listen to them. If you're not a reader, you can go onto YouTube and other channels and you can see people have recorded the books. So the Conversations with God are great. Cryon, everything that he ever channeled over the last 20 years is there. Second Step. Learn a bit about quantum physics so you know it's not a joke, so you understand this whole thing about energy, quantum. So that's a good way to get the sciencey as well. So you're not as skeptical then, because I mean you're starting off, you're still on the well, if I can't see it, I don't believe it. So who's good for that one? Bruce Lipton. People need to do their biology over belief. Bruce Lipton, and about the consciousness and your biology, people need to cognize that, because they wouldn't be half the planet is an absolute fear, right, about this illness or about the treatment. because they haven't cognized biology of belief, that consciousness controls biology. And if they did, they wouldn't be frightened of any treatment or any bug. And science on the top level, quantum, know this. They know that your consciousness actually changes your DNA as well. There we are, people. Yeah, Dispenza's not, but Dispenza doesn't do the biology. The biology part, the body and the consciousness, that's Bruce Lipton. Joe Dispenza is on the consciousness. Yeah, a good one about the quantum field and consciousness, and very good. Very good. So those are good places to start, right? Because remember, you've got a lot of bad patterns to break, because we were on a low level of consciousness, and in the old times, epoch, whatever, right? End of the old times, because now we moved into the new ones. We only had our religion and doctrine that was also some human wrote down in their perception and their consciousness and their filters, which weren't good at those times, or manipulated them, pushed out to us. So we've learned this. So to unlearn a lot of things that we thought were true are not. So the people that are going to do very well in this time are people that are not stuck in one truth, that are flexible, put it that way, right? That's just like, as a kid, I didn't do well with that one. Because I used to question everything. And I was always interested in the unseen. So I didn't do this, no, don't question authority, absolutely, don't, believe what you're told, and yes sir, no sir. I would question them, and they would get so angry with me. Because they didn't have an answer to a lot of the questions, and religious and all kinds of things. I was like, that doesn't make sense, but what happened? Anyway, I was very analytical. I was very in the mind anyway. So a lot of those things, and I didn't luckily also have this box. So I wasn't really in a box, not really, I didn't really fit into the box very well. And the same thing like bumblebees. How do you explain that? A bumblebee can fly, but it defies our laws of physics and gravity. So you knew a lot of things we were told is our assumption or theories, doesn't mean they were correct. So if you haven't got a set box and, oh my gosh, this is a truth and there's no, well, then you're going to have a problem. Because there isn't one, you see. And now science is showing this whole quantum theory and entanglement and everything's connected. So if you think, oh no, same thing, it's only 5D, oh my gosh, there's this and that's the, nothing. Be open, okay, to all. You have no clue what's out there, literally. I mean, it's an infinity of dimensions, truth, anything. All right, consciousness, it is just mind-blowing. So if you just like sit in meditation and just not trying to, I want to see this and I'm going to 5D and I'm setting that, just sit. And just let what comes, or let, whatever you're going to see, experience, whatever. Just be open to it. And remember, that's another whole subject we're not going to go into. Yeah, Dolores Cannon, yeah. A lot of interesting work. Wow, yeah. Past life regressions. But that's on another level. There's a level above that. That's still in the illusion. That's still in the dream. You're still in the Maya. You see, because never mind. That's you can start somewhere. Yes, but Dolores Cannon, when you start going through this raise in consciousness, you're going to hit the astral, and then you will start going through the what you call your shadow, your demonic realm, your shadow work, right? That's what you're going to hit initially. You're going to go, and then poof, you're going to have to look at your shadows and the things that you've hidden and whatever your unfinished shit, right? So you'll go through that, removing attachments and energies and face your shadow, demons, whatever, right? And then you will hit the ET. Oh my gosh. Then you're going to hit the E. That's the next one. You've got to go through all these levels, people. You've got to work your way up. Okay. It's like a spiritual journey, and you will, in an esoteric level, you get like rewards. So if you hit a certain level, you'll get certain gifts in the esoteric. You'll see them. Like these things come down, you wonder, what's that? You see, like when you've fought your whole demon thing, you'll get your wings. And literally, you'll think you're an angel. So did I. Fractal of Archangel Michael. Always with me. And I got the sword and I was like, no, I don't want the sword. I'm like tired of this nonsense. I'm not doing the fighting, savior game anymore. I was like, no, take it back. But you get your wings. Everyone will tell you, oh my gosh, I got my wings. I saw wings. That's your completion of that. It's different phases you go through, okay? Fun. You get different things that come down to you. And some of them are tests as well. See if you're going, never mind, anyway. It's all good. Yeah. Yes, the ego, oh, it's a lot of, yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, well, no, well, anyway. So an awesome dream, that's what I'm saying, depends. So you want to make it an awesome dream. You don't want to make it a shit dream. So you want to get up there and do your work and do your inner work and work through all the shit, because you want to make sure that dream is nice. You want to create that. You don't want to create a really bad dream, people. It's that's just suffering and fear. Look at the most people. They're in absolute terror and suffering because you're attached to it. You are so in this maya that you are, in a very bad way. All right. Anyway. Talking about that, I need to get hold of this lady. Someone's in a bad way and they do need some help. But we're also going to be careful, people, not intervene, because, as I said, it's karma. So if you try and take away someone's karma or problem or life or whatever it is, you're interfering, you're taking it on yourself. Because you're stepping in. Oh, I'm going to remove it for you. I'm going to save you. I'm going to do this. Oh, no. Sometimes, this is another thing. If you look at the biblical story about Yeshua, he didn't cure everybody and drive it out. Remember, he would know, oh, okay, they haven't learned that. If they haven't learned the lesson, you can't take it from them. See, you're interfering. So, there is an issue. Someone contacted me yesterday, a healer come light worker, a lovely person with the most beautiful souls, having a really bad time at the moment. Wow. So I don't know so we want to have a look at why and what's behind the problem. And they've dropped massively into dark, dense energy, because a lot of you have chosen this as your truth. There is this was one thing about, the truth, right? Anyway, in a Maya, there's no truth. You've all got your own dreams. Now, you can choose. You've been told by who is ever out there, oh my gosh, this is the truth. A lot of people have chosen to identify with it. Oh my gosh, that's it. It can kill me. They have chosen the darkest shadow timeline out there as the truth of what's happening. And that's if you believe that, and then you believe something's going to really happen to your body and you've got no control over it and anything else, you're a victim, you are going to be in a lot of suffering and darkness at the moment. And it will lower your frequency and vibration, because now you've accepted you're a weak victim, not source itself, not the creator. You have no power. Yeah. A lot of people have chosen that one in this carnation, I must admit. I see that. Wow. Oof. So this person, I think, as well, is bought into that fear and lowered their frequency and vibration, which was very high. And now they're having physical. Also, we've all worked through that. Physical ailments look like diseases. This is karma. And stuff, past lives that have come up. Because a lot of us did that. And physically, you end up with the physical symptoms. You think, oh my gosh, I had kidney stones. Meanwhile, you find out you were stoned there or whatever. So I think I'm going to find out anyway what's going on. So I just want to get hold of a few people. And then would like to get a live together with everybody let's try and break people out of the collective fear. And I made a video. The Hopi prophecies told the same people the same thing. There's going to be a door. Choose wisely to the light, or you're going to choose. Most people, it's like they share this. I watch people on Facebook share the story. Oh, the Hopis, open that door. Choose the light. Don't choose the dark. No. Oh my gosh, we're all doomed. We're going to be, with communism, and we're going to be this and that and that. Well, they all chose the darkest, the scariest collective karma timeline. Wow. Well, who knows? Anyway, that's what I say. It's, that's not a good one to, but there we are. As I say, you're not this body. So even if in this dream you annihilate yourself or you are done in by, it doesn't matter. You are untouchable as a soul, as a source, okay? So if anyone does something to your body, or you do to your body, or believe they can, well then, that's just a lesson you're going to have to learn. That no one has power of anything. Okay, your body, your anything, and can harm it. No matter what you put in it, actually. Because people, and this is a funny thing, people have cured themselves of stage 4 of cancer when they were told they had no chance. Yet when you tell them, oh my gosh, if you take this thing, oh, that's it, I'm done. Oh my gosh, no. Actually, you have your, Bruce Lipton does explain that. Nothing can override your, anyway. there we. I did talk about that. All right, lovely people. Hi. Yes, no, that's not me. This is a filter. This is a TikTok filter. I'm trying it out. Isn't it fun? Makes you, and you think, yeah, that's not me. I'm the old bat with the wrinkles and the grey hair. This is not me. This is actually fun. I thought, oh, why the hell not? This is a filter on TikTok. My gosh, it makes you look like you've got makeup on, and you. Now this is funny because if you notice, I wear glasses. I can't put exactly. It's hilarious. I'm doing it for fun. I can't wear makeup anymore because I can't do it. I never wore makeup really anyway. Since my 30s, I stopped wearing makeup, right, because of my work and stuff. But every now and then when I used to go out in my 40s, I'd put, on the eyes, what's it called, mascara and eyeliner. I wouldn't wear base and stuff, but I put a bit of makeup. Just, you look pretty, you look nice. Dress up a bit and make an effort, put it that way. Mild makeup. And I hadn't done it for so many years that I decided one day I was going up with my daughters a few years ago, and I thought, oh, it would be nice. And I couldn't do it because if I took my glasses off, I'm not able to see. I couldn't put the mascara on. It was hilarious. So I had to ask my kids to do my makeup for me. And I thought, oh, what the hell? Really, I really have to, please, come on. It's past that sort of, it doesn't matter anyway, trying to doll it up or, who knows. So now when I came onto TikTok, there's this thing pops up, trending, filters and ambience, all kinds of other weird things. And I never look at them and I don't know what. So I wanted to play with it now. So I was trying all these different buttons, background or I don't know what they're called, trending, ambience and something else. And if you push them, some of them looks like you've got stars around, and then there's a background thing and all kinds of stuff. And some of them make your face, who knows, weird or whatever. And I pushed this one, and it came up with, oh, that looks nice. Look, it looks like I've got shiny lips. It really it's like a facelift or fake. Yeah, it's like photoshopped. So there we are. I got a free Photoshop. Look. You don't see the wrinkles as much. The skin, you don't see the age spots, the liver spots. And then they look much younger. The skin is nice and clean, all shiny. I got nice lips. And it looks like my eyes are lighter. And it looks like I got mascara on. True as Bob, look. Looks like I've got mascara on. So I'm like, wow, okay, cool. I'm going to try that. So, people, this is fake. I'm not 40 anymore. I passed that one anyway. All right, lovely people. Great, yeah, thanks. It does look good, it is. Anyway, but anyway, it's an illusion. That's false advertising. I'm not trying to con anyone. You've seen my other videos in my pajamas. I'm not, the skin cancer. Have a look. From all the years of the sun, I've got skin like a rhino, for heaven's sake. So, not this base looking, smooth, whatever. I can't even put the shit on anyway. All right, lovely people. Lovely chatting to you. And hopefully we'll do some more. Okay. Bye.